not the 13th, it's the 17th. Let's move into the NBA playoffs.
Okay.
How much fun is this right now where on a Monday afternoon, Monday at like 1:30, 12:30, whatever time it started, we had NBA basketball like all day. I mean, it's still going now.
I don't like it because I'm missing all this crap because I got to work.
It's because they're doing it so quickly, right? They're making sure they get in all of these games. It's just all day, every day. It's March Madness, basically.
I missed the one game I really wanted to see was
Utah
the earliest game.
Yeah.
God. And it was a great game.
Yes, it was.
Being exactly what I thought it was going to be. So that sucks.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to miss most of the Sixers game, Celtics game. So, but that's just my choice to work late tonight. So
there you go. So we do have. So let's kind of go through these matchups here and see if there's anything that we see as potential upsets, etc. Matt Miller said Raptors are spanking the Nets. Clippers and Mavs will be interesting. And then he said Jamal Murray. Michael Fritz jumped in. He said Jamal Murray went off. Then he said that Mitchell tried to beat the Nuggets on his own. It was a great game. Yeah, I mean, look, the Jazz, they don't have Mike Conley right now. He left the bubble to go, for the birth of his son. Can't blame him for that. But it is strange that, well, you think this.
Listen, I'm not dad of the year, okay? Yeah, I'm going to tell you this. If I had one of these jobs where I was a professional athlete making millions of dollars, and if it's baseball and it's one of 162, yeah, I'll see you in a couple of weeks. If it's playoffs in any sport at all, man, I'll be there when I'm done. Okay, you don't need me. I've already done my part.
Yeah,
you don't need me there. I'm the most useless person in the delivery room.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
So I'm not going to knock somebody for it, but we got to stop treating these guys like they're heroes because they went to see the birth of their son. No. Like at some point in time, there's a bunch of dudes in that locker room that depended on you all year, and now you're disappearing at a big point in time. And I know that it's okay. We live in a different world, and I am 100% the outlier here. I'm sure of that. I'm sure that nobody else sees things that way, or very few people. And if they do, they probably wouldn't say it because they get criticized and crushed. But I just don't think you have to be there. You know what? Sense. In a couple of months, be there because that's when she's going to want your help.
Yeah, it's 100%.
But right now, these guys have moms and dads and aunts and uncles that can all step up and help.
Matt Miller said, rule of thumb, unless it's a championship, you miss if it's your first kid. It wasn't Conley's first. He should have been there. Yeah, this is his second. So, I
don't even know about first, man. Like I said, once again, I was there for both mine, and I just stood in the corner.
That's pretty much what I did.
Well, what do?
You stand in the corner.
Something? What am I going to do? What am I going to get? Nothing.
Alonzo Chico jumps in on YouTube. He said, go Gators. I know that's for you, Chris. Absolutely.
All right.
Simon Cool Hand said, isn't Snacks Harrison sitting out this year? He's a big dude. And then the Brown Yeti said, what's up, fellas? And nice to see the Yetis in here again today. Michael jumps in. He said, Chris, you aren't missing much with Boston and the Sixers. The East won't be good until next round, possibly Eastern Conference Finals, in my opinion.
Well, I just like watching the Celtics win, and I really like watching the Sixers lose.
There you go. I mean, that's a rivalry. It just is, especially right now, even though Ben what's today? Is it Ben Simmons?
Yeah, he's out. Ben Simmons. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, he's out, but it is what it is. I think it still could be entertaining because there's so much hate between those two teams. But either way, let's chat about some of the matchups here. I'm curious your thoughts on the Bucks and the Magic. The Bucks have not been very good. Is this a situation where they can just flip a switch and turn this thing back on?
A little bit, yeah. I think they were treating those first 8 games like preseason games.
You might be right.
I'm not worried about the Bucks. Now, maybe I should, and maybe we'll see it after. I'm
not worried about them next round.
I'm not worried about it in this round.
Yeah, I don't think the Magic are good enough to be able to.
I will tell you, there's a world in which I could see the Raptors beating them, and I could see the Celtics beating them. Now, I think they're better than both those teams. I think they will win both those teams. But if they lose one of those rounds, or I guess they would have to lose to only one of them because they have to play each other.
Well, that would be in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yes.
They would play the winner of the Pacers and the Heat. Now, we can talk about those two as well.
The Pacers, that doesn't concern me either. It would have to be when they get to the Celtics or the Raptors.
Yeah, okay.
Those are the only two teams in the East I think that have a chance of taking them out.
You might be right.
I could be wrong. We could be sitting here in a couple of weeks and I'm looking like a fool. That's not unheard of. So,
well, the Pacers and the Heat have both played pretty well.
Yep.
And the Pacers, man, TJ Warren has just been an absolute beast inside of that bubble. It's unbelievable what he's been doing.
Completely agree with that. I just think that they'll figure it out.
Yeah, I think they will as well. So we've got the Bucks moving all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals. So we both think Celtics over Sixers. Sixers just that Simmons loss is just a little too much to be able to handle right now. And the Raptors over the Nets, I think that's fairly easy to call, especially right now. I mean, they are destroying them right now. Yeah, so then I guess the most entertaining of all of these matchups, really, maybe more so than either of these teams against the Bucks, would be the Celtics against the Raptors. That's a fun matchup.
That round is going to be incredible.
Yeah, if
we get that, that's going to be made for TV, and then the winner of that against the Bucks is going to be an incredible matchup.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Now the West has a lot of great matchups.
If the Raptors find a way to get back to the NBA championship game or championship series,
just take that coach and give him any contract he wants.
I mean, you do it without Kawhi, and that is something else, man. The Brown Yeti jumped in. He said, "I'm late on this, but I was driving. Dads are the only ones allowed in the hospital now. At least that's what my brother's saying. He's 3 weeks out. That might change things a little bit."
No, that's fine. She don't need anybody in the hospital.
Okay? For those that are late,
she got medical professionals in the hospital. When she leaves the hospital, because once you have a kid, they push your ass out in like hours now. Okay.
Oh, that's
overnight,
that's
maybe, and then you're going home. When you get home, there's all these other people there. You don't need to be there.
That's okay. Valid point.
Listen, I know I'm standing alone on this island, but if I had a job that paid me 7 figures or more, which all of these people do,
well, his is.
I'm not leaving that job for going to see my kid be born. I'm going to make sure my kid is taken care of for the rest of their life right now.
That's okay. That's a valid point. I see
Daddy's
where you're coming from.
Working on his legacy.
Let's move into the Western Conference. We got the Clippers and the Mavs. That's going to be really interesting. I would love to see what this is going to look like because Luka and Kristaps.
That might be my favorite round. That I said earlier, the Jazz and the Nuggets was going to be my favorite matchup. Without Conley, it hurts a little bit, but it's still going to be a great one. I do think the Mavs Clippers matchup will be my favorite to watch.
I think this could end up being a 4-1 Clippers kind of win, and
it's going to make me sad when that happens because I really like this Mavs team.
But it may not feel like it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, you're right.
Where every game is difficult.
If we get 5 great games and the Clippers win 4-1, I'll feel okay about it. If Kawhi just flips a switch, Paul George just flips a switch, and they beat the hell out of him, it'll shock the shit out of me.
And same here. So
I think Luka is playing out of his mind. I think Porzingis is healthy and playing great. I think that team can hang with anyone.
I'm curious to see how Patrick Beverley plays against Luka. I think because Luka, obviously, we see the offensive end. We see how crazy he is, but Patrick Beverley is one of the best defenders in all of basketball. I want to see what happens here. Like, I think that's going to be a fantastic matchup. Matt Miller said if Westbrook was healthy, that OKC-Houston series was going to be awesome. Look, I think it still could be awesome. Like it's.
I don't. I think it's going to be boring. Well, any Houston game is awesome to watch if you like that style of basketball.
Well, I think
I don't find it appealing. I will watch very little of it.
The CP3 going back to Houston matchup could be.
I don't care about that storyline.
I think it's entertaining.
I don't care.
Let's see. Michael said Chris is trying to come home with his shit on the lawn. I'm with you though. I know I didn't do anything. Talking about your stuff from earlier. Matt Miller said Mike Conley's been garbage anyway. And Michael said they said they're testing Conley daily so he won't have to quarantine when he comes back to the bubble. Why hasn't everyone done that? That's a good question. I don't know. I really have no idea.
Just don't get caught at the Purple Church while you're home, and we'll be all right.
Yeah, you'll be just fine. You won't have to worry about it. So we talked Rockets and OKC. We talked Nuggets and Jazz. We talked Clippers and Mavs. You think Lakers and Trailblazers are going to be a series?
So this is the same kind of thing of the Clippers. I think those games could be entertaining. I think they could be fun. They could also be 4-0.
Yeah.
It
could be 4-0 with like a really difficult out, right?
That's right.
I mean, could be really tough.
I think the Lakers will handle them. I think the games will be highly contested. So, yes, I think it'll be fun to watch. It's just so hard once you get to that game 3 and one team is up 2-0. Like, it's just tough to buy in. Or once you get to game 4 and if one team's up 3-0, even if they've all been close, it's just now a matter of time before that last nail gets driven in.
Yeah, you're right about that.
For me to get real excited, the underdog of these series need to take game 1 or 2.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, that's typically the way it always worked, right? But even more so.
But no. That's only that way when it's a home and away thing, because then they took a home game. They took a road game. Then they go home for a couple of games. If they can win their home games, you got to believe. Here, home and away don't matter. So you just got to take one early just so I can believe.
Yeah, that's a valid point.
You're not winning game 3 going down to, and then I got to think you got to win 4 of the next 5.
Yeah.
Oh, no, 4 of 6, sorry.
4 out of, if you lose the first 2, you got to win 4 out of 6. So
that I just don't believe any of these teams are capable of, that are the underdogs that are going against just LeBron's not dropping that. Okay. You're not doing that to Kawhi.
Matt Miller said Conley was actually getting himself some Magic City wings. And Michael Fritz asked, have we made our picks on the Western side yet? And we have not. So
I'll give you some picks now. I'm going to take all chalk.
I think I'm going to take OKC over the Rockets. And, I'll take the Lakers. And then I guess I'm going Nuggets over the Jazz, and I'm going Clippers.
I'm gonna do one thing. I want to look at the odds for do you have odds up by chance?
No, I sure don't. I've just got the playoff bracket.
I just need to know the price on the Mavs. If the price is good enough, I'd take that underdog just to have it, just to ride with the dog.
I bet it's massive. I mean, it's got to be massive.
I don't know that it's going to be as big as you think it is. Hang on. NBA series, not game.
Let's see.
Give me a second.
Oh, everybody go over to sportsbookreview.com and make sure that you get your
plus 465. I mean, I'd probably sprinkle a little on that underdog just because while I lay 630.
Is that that's not the game tonight. That's just the overall series, right?
That's the series price.
Okay.
I'd take that. I'd take plus 465 before I bet minus 630.
Okay.
On that one.
Yeah, if everybody wants to see the odds on this, by the way, sbrpicks.com/CFB, that'll take you to all of the different odds and all that kind of stuff. So
all the favorites are massive favorites, man.
Just
big.
Oh, 100%. And you knew that.
So if you like that Thunder, you can get them at plus 130. That's the one that's not. That's the short favorite.
Yeah, that's the short. Well, I mean, it's a 4-5 matchup, so it makes sense.
But
it's still plus money. It's still plus money. So with that said, I'm going to take the Lakers and the Clippers, I think, to get to the conference finals on that side.
I'm just making picks, the NBA is just all chalk. For years and years and years, you rarely get underdogs. Yeah.
No, that's unless there's an injury or somebody tests positive or whatever, but they hadn't yet. So why would they? So I've got Lakers, Clippers on the west side. I've got Bucks, and I think I'm going to go Raptors in the East. And then just because I want to see it, I will take the Raptors against the Clippers in the finals because I think that a Kawhi against the Raptors thing would be fantastic.
So I heard a bunch of people taking the Celtics-Lakers finals. Now, I don't know how much of that is just folks wanting like nostalgia.
It'd be fun.
Old school, Lakers-Celtics rivalry. But, I would be shocked if the Celtics are able to pull through this year. That would surprise me.
Yeah.
But that's just because I think Milwaukee's just that much better than those other teams. I think Giannis is that much better. And in the NBA, one player really can make a difference.
Michael said that'd be a great finals. Anyone but James is my wish. And then Matt Miller said Lakers are not beating Houston if Westbrook is healthy. We'll see.
I'll tell you this. I do want to see that matchup.
Yeah, I think it'd be great.
That's going to be a really fun second round matchup if Houston can get through and Westbrook can get healthy.
Yeah, because you got one that's completely guard driven and one that's completely front court driven. So
golly, man, you're talking about just the night and day differences.
You got that right. You have got that right. All right, let's move off of that one and let's dive into some NFL. We've got two